start with the pledge. Mr. Hope?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Okay, following the agenda, first order of business is the financial statement discussion and approval to submit to the West Virginia Department of Education to meet deadline. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Oh, she has to present first.
I thought we did that during our discussion.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, sorry.
You're correct.
I'm sure he's correct.
Is there a motion?
All right,
I so move.
Is there any discussion?
thank you. It was like she got panicky.
She wouldn't leave you out this time.
I'm just gonna go over some highlights that I think you should know. And then, if you have any questions, we'll go from there. So we continue to make strides in compliance and internal controls. My team is doing an excellent job, and as are the departments in the, schools. We finished the year with a surplus of $92,616 in the general fund, with a total fund balance of $28,175,000. $18,163 is in the unrestricted fund balance. The West Virginia Department of Ed recommends between 3 to 5%, which is actually correlates with what the Government Finance Officers Association also recommends. We have 17% of our annual expenditures right now in unrestricted fund balance. But don't get too excited, because worst case scenario, that will only carry us for 2 months. Because our average monthly costs are about $8.8 million. So that barely gets us to 2 months. We had $1,206,000 in excess levy fund surplus, which is earmarked for personnel costs in 2026. If you remember that discussion in the budget of 2026. We have $5,299,587 surplus in the permanent improvement fund. These funds can only be used for capital improvements. This balance dedicated at the end of the year was $9.7 million. That is something to be very proud of, since we just started in 2024. A portion of that, about $500,000, no more than $700,000 of that will be used for the Liberty renovation projects. This account was, one thing I want to make clear to everyone in the community, all the money that goes into this account is from the general fund surpluses, which we had a couple of years ago. The real estate proceeds, so anything time we sell real estate, the gross proceeds goes into that account to bolster it up. Additionally, the interest income earned on those accounts. All of it being dedicated to capital projects. Physical inventories were taken by all the departments at the end of the year. We did a prior period adjustment estimated $882,000. Ending inventories totaled $1.1 million. Transportation, this was required under policy 4336. And it was, if you recall, it was an audit management letter point because the count had not been done. That's $579,857 for FY25. Custodial, $161,017. Maintenance, $117,725. Workbooks, because we bought 5 years worth of the math workbooks in advance, was $119,500. Food services, $165,553. As you recall, in September of last year, we liquidated the ESSER, the COVID relief funds. So we had a reduction in revenue this year from those funds that we had in the prior year for $13.5 million. Previously, the majority of that reimbursed revenue for 24 was used for personnel. This year, the little bit that we did get was for technology purposes. Those personnel costs for the prior years had to be absorbed by the general and excess levy funds. So they will actually count in this year. Property tax collections, though, last year had increased by $13.7 million in 25. This was mainly due to the oil and gas assessed valuations, which will not continue in the current year due to the change in assessed valuation laws. These additional funds were sufficient to replace the cost previously paid by the ESSER COVID funds for personnel in the prior year. That is not the case for FY '26. When we go to the statement of net position, which is the first 2 pages of the financial report, page 13, that's what the businesses and like Apple's and Walmart's, everything have to prepare their basis of financial statements on. This year, we had a new GASB. It was GASB 101. It was for compensated absences. So we had to record a sick leave liability. Previously, we'd only recorded on vacation. Those 6 days that vacation was allowed to be carried over. GASB 101, we needed to estimate how much sick leave our employees were going to take. Well, there was a little caveat in GASB 101 that says that if they can be converted for other post-employment benefits, such as health insurance or additional years of service, we did not have to count them. So we were basically looking at Teachers Retirement System 9, which we have 1, we have 2, which is the TDC, 4, and 9. 9 is the one that was established July 1 of 2015 thereafter, and those accumulations of sick leave cannot be used for any post-retirement benefits. Compensated absences for the prior period adjustment for that sick leave was $5,384,621. The ending liability in June 30th of 2025 is estimated at $6,223,868. The vacation of that is $132,597. As you can tell, that was a huge liability that hit our financial statements. Fixed assets, the other thing I thought you might be like to know is construction in progress. In '24, we had 12 projects in process at the end of the year. 9 were finished during the year. 3 remain unfinished as of 2025. That's the South Harrison Middle and High School HVAC project, the Nutter Fort classroom additions, and the Simpson classroom additions. In '25, we had 9 additional projects started during the year. 2 of those were completed by the end of the year, and 10 remain in progress at the end of the year. The 3 from 2024 and the 7 new ones. And if you want to know what they are, I have them.
It's listed in here somewhere.
Yes, it is actually in the next. Yes, it is listed in the next. You did your homework.
Page 35, by the way.
Page 35.
He's the winner.
That's where those projects are listed.
Oh, okay. So did you guys have any other additional questions?
You mentioned sick leave there.
Yes.
I go back to the theory that our legislators are one of the reasons that as much of the sick leave is being used.
Mhm.
I'll continue to say that.
I understand that.
Mhm.
Yep. And now we have a dollar amount for it.
That's what they need to know. They need to know the dollar amount that it's costing each county and the amount of monies that we're having to spend because of their decisions years ago.
Right.
Like y'all already heard.
Yeah.
Occasionally, they collect information on that. Have they collected that from all the counties, do you know, yet?
My
Sometimes
guess
they
is,
do.
my guess is after this GASB 101, they will be collecting it.
Because it will
Because
be
they will have it,
available.
yep, everybody's
It's
required to
not
have
getting
it.
the right people.
You'd like to see that number,
Yeah.
like statewide. Well, sometimes the legislature would request information, that might be one that they request.
One of the things that they requested last spring was how many employees had used more than 10 days and how many employees had used more than 20 days of sick leave during the year.
If you can't carry them over, they're going to use it.
Well, if they'd listened to people who knew what they were talking about, they wouldn't have passed that legislation. We warned them.
You're talking about the projects. What were the three that you said were not completed?
From the 24 year, that is the HVAC system at South Harrison High School, middle school. I think it's completed, it will be completed here in the next, maybe the next board meeting. Nutter Fort classroom additions and the Simpson classroom additions,
But the classrooms are done.
not as of June 30th, 2025.
Oh, not as of
Everything is
June-
as of that snapshot in time.
Okay.
Yep, yep, yes.
Even though they're done now.
At June 30, 2025, that's our measurement date. Yes, sir. That was a great question.
Thank you.
But Simpson's still going on.
Yes.
Speaking of Simpson, I went by there, it's up in the air.
They're moving.
They're really moving, they're really moving. Looking good. All right, and Simpson's the other one, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the, on the inter-fund transfers there that has to do with school activities, it's transfers between schools? They're
That's,
on page 54.
okay, so that is when a school, because of the way we are required to record transactions. So let's say Liberty High School was playing a tournament, had a tournament fee at RCB. They're going to count that as a transfer to RCB, and RCB is going to transfer, count as a transfer in from them. One of the things that we did, that number seems probably a little high this year. That's because we did do some transfers from the schools that were consolidating to the other schools during the year, so they could get some things ready.
Yeah, those schools have quite a bit of money, it seemed like, to play with there.
Yes, sir,
When I
they
say
did.
play with there.
Yes, they did. They certainly did. We are officially have gotten all of the Liberty's accounts closed and they're with RCB, and we're trying to finalize Mountaineer Middle and WI. Mountaineer Middle will be finished this week and WI should probably be next week. Any other questions?
Yeah, just gonna find the pages.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll surely got
You're sorry.
questions here while I'm.
Well, I was trying to, with having a week to look at it, I was trying to, didn't want to bore anyone because honestly, it takes 2 weeks to put it together. So I could probably spend at least 8 hours talking about it if you really wanted to.
Well, it took about that much time to go through it.
I understand.
Go through the-
I totally get that.
Yeah, it was great reading.
It's good nighttime.
Page 35 there about this energy saving that we've been working on for years.
Yes,
Is there,
that's the debt.
pardon?
That'd be the debt.
Yes.
Mhm.
Is there anything that
35.
Are we coming out ahead on any of this about the amount of monies that we've paid and then received for this project, or where are we at there? I mean, it doesn't look good for the home teams, what I'm saying right here, so I just want.
Well, so let's go back to the original intent of this. Yes, we were supposed to save some energy. However, measurement of energy is it's very hard to do because what happens is you can't use raw financial matters, right? Financial costs, because electric energy and gas energy, those costs go up every year. So then you've got to look at consumption. But then you also have to take into consideration the consumption. So if you have a major water line leak, guess what happens? Your consumption went up. Same kind of thing. If somebody leaves the lights on too long, consumption's up. So those are become very difficult to track down to actually see if there truly was energy savings. I think there was, but to quantify it, no.
I think you'll see.
But the good thing is, we got our lighting upgraded to LED lights, which provides better lighting for the classrooms. We also got HVAC units in the system. So that's the good positive thing. And that's
This is
part
part
of
of
Yeah,
that
there-
money. But part of that monies came from, COVID monies there, didn't it?
Oh, no. These projects that are on page 35,
Oh, I
36.
know, but I'm just saying about the, HVAC and all that.
Well, that's part of it, but these projects here were also for HVAC projects that we financed in 2015.
We should see a little bit of a difference in there, since we have couple schools that are closed.
We can't turn off the utilities until they're out of our hands.
Oh, yes, I understand that, but the usage, yeah.
But sometimes it costs more to heat a vacant building than it does with bodies,
It
yes.
goes into winter, yes.
Yes.
Especially whenever you turn the heat down, people don't understand that.
Yes,
When you turn the heat down, but if you have the heat normal, you're heating the objects in the room, which helps heat the rest of it.
Right. you don't have all those little bodies in there that produce heat.
Yeah,
Those projects with ESG, that's what these are.
The last three are yes.
3 phases of that, correct? That's what we're paying on.
Yes,
There actually were 5 phases. That's what the initial, and because of other projects and the ESSER money when it came in, we didn't go forward with
Right.
ESG projects. We used ESSER money to go in and to do some projects.
and that's one of the things is we have, we're tied into 2034 with payments on these.
Yeah.
And when you have a steady enrollment, signing a long-term lease agreement works, but as enrollment declines, our funds available to pay those lease obligations declines as well. So that's kind of scary too. Hopefully,
We just paid one off.
We did, we paid one off last year,
Just paid one off.
and we get another one paid off in 2029. That one's a non-interest bearing one.
Anybody else have anything? There no question?
Call the question.
yeah.
Frankie?
Frankie, do you have any questions? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so then.
I have one other question.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
In, probably there, Superintendent, on page 51 there about the pending litigations, how many do we have of those? It talks about them, but
Well,
or is it, I mean,
I'm thinking,
I could,
because they're ongoing, we actually just had one that came in. It's gonna be a nuisance claim. Did you count those, the ones?
I actually just put a blurb that there's some in there.
There's some in there. You never know when we have a student accident, which ones are going to come to fruition for a request for payment. So we submit them to Brent. Generally, we don't. If we have a student accident and it's nothing major, you don't turn it into Brent. But the minute you get an attorney letter or something, you submit it. And they usually will label them as a nuisance claim. So I guess you could say, we have probably two of them, we have 2 of those right now, it's submitted recently. We
yeah, I
have
just
one
want-
large claim.
I just want to say that, but we probably don't have,
Oh,
it makes it look like,
no, there's not like, they're just the basic.
Yeah.
Ones. Occasionally, the larger litigations you know about, so
And what will happen
everybody.
is, what will happen is the auditors will get attorney's letters on any pending litigation. And then if there's anything material at that point in time, which is a little bit later, then they'll put it in the audit.
And we generally use about 4 attorneys, yeah. Just depending on what it is. You know, which direction it's going.
Okay. So, all in your favor of,
You need a motion. Or no, we think we need, that's right.
That's
Faster.
I'm
Entertain
confused.
discussion.
It's been such a long discussion.
All those in favor of accepting fund 25 financial statement, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Any opposed?
No, that was I.
Oh, okay.
And that brings down to board member comments. Mr. Tucker.
Make sure you either attend or listen at our next meeting because it will be much more exciting. Promise it to be more exciting, folks, so either come or listen.
You know something we don't.
I guess. Mr. Hope.
I had something that escaped me right at the moment. Go ahead and come back to me.
Mr. Dr.
Yeah, thank you so much to Mrs. Kynes and her team for doing this. All I can say is better you all than I.
Mr. Hope.
No, I didn't come back.
Frankie, Mr. Devano.
No, I'm all clear, thank you.
Okay. So in closing, is there a motion to adjourn?
So
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
mm,
Meeting is adjourned.
Children of peace, go in peace.